avoiding paying their fair share, Mr. Speaker.
Ian McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It gives me pleasure to rise to speak to the International Finance Agreement Amendment Bill. And I, for the life of me, haven't been able to find any evidence of problem gamblers or the issues of problem gamblers in this bill, Mr. Speaker. This bill allows and enables New Zealand to contribute to the world financial institutions to continue on a mildly altered pathway, and we're doing our thing as a country. To the people of Rangitikei, Mr. Speaker, this may mean very little. However, the Rangitikei, like the rest of us, relies heavily on the world's economic stability, and the changes this bill provide will assist that cause for us. So, Mr. Speaker, I have great pleasure in supporting this bill and the third reading of this bill as it passes through the House.
Split call, 5 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I split with my my friends from the Green, and I might say that as well, very good friends, Mr. Bennett. And like all good friends, we have differences occasionally. And that's why we're in different parties, as opposed to the National Party, where you have sitting next to each other a bright, intelligent young man from Tauranga and Aaron Gilmore. And Mr. Speaker, things could just not be more different. Within the National Party, we have a range of views within the Labour Party, but it is fair to say that there is a wider range of views, and we have discussions, and we have differences. And one of the differences we have with the Greens is whether or not to vote for this bill. We absolutely agree on the fact that the National Party taking to ministers something that should be in Parliament is wrong. I think the difference we have is whether the other things about this bill, which are sort of like fairly good, you know, most of the changes that occurred in the 2008 and 2010 revisions are good things, and therefore should be supported, and you know, they certainly are, and the Labour Party wants to support them, and we've decided to vote for it, and the Greens have decided to vote against it, and there's not that much in it. And what I want to share with members opposite is, actually, it doesn't make too much difference at all. Whether or not we pass this legislation, our obligations are there. This clarifies on the New Zealand statutes the fact of the reflection of the constitution of the IMF, but actually, even if we didn't, we would still have to have the changes and arrangements anyway, Mr. Chairman, and other interesting things occur. You know, I thought, you know, some of these organisations, when you're in them forever, but it's relatively simple to jump out of the IMF if anyone ever was foolish enough to want to. All you do is stop paying your money. You stop paying your money and you're automatically out. Doesn't happen that way with the UN, as the United States has discovered over many years. So, Mr. Speaker, the changes in this bill are generally positive. The fact that it is legislation passing in 2013 is somewhat of an embarrassment. The Australians managed to do the 2008 changes in 2009 and actually managed to get the 2010 changes through in that year. Now that's, you know, possibly an indication that the Australian government is much more efficient than the New Zealand government, that there's a priority around making sure that the treaties are involved in are properly aligned. Or maybe it's just as simple as the fact that they don't rely on Bill English to get busy and to get the priorities there. Mr. Speaker, there is the 2010 review is something that was brought forward as a result of the global financial crisis. There is another upcoming review in 2013, and what is happening is This will mean that there will be 3 within the normal 3 over 5 years instead of 1 over 8. Now that's a reflection of the changes that are happening in the world, the need to update and the change in the balance of power. Can I have an indication with that a 1, Mr. Speaker? I thank you, Mr. Speaker. There have been, as members know, quite a few previous amendments to this legislation, which originally came in, sponsored, we think, by Harry Lake in 1961, and there have been a series of amendments since that time. The major part of the amendment here, and the most principal part as opposed to the emergency part, was in fact part of a package that Michael Cullen was involved in negotiating. So that's the 2008 set of arrangements, and we all know, Mr. Speaker, that he clearly works in New Zealand's interests, and I think it's probably fair to say that his knighthood didn't quite come for the work that he did in relation to the IMF, but he is a person of integrity who has recommended this, and we are therefore, Mr. Speaker, very happy to support it.
Dr. Kennedy.